Okay, we got everybody here. Is everybody comfortable?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna call the February 24th Village Planning Board meeting to order. And the first item on the agenda is a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the first thing we need to do is, are there any additions or corrections to the January 27th Planning Board meeting minutes?
I don't have any.
None.
None
Okay,
for me.
None for me.
hearing none, do I have a motion to accept the minutes as distributed?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so the minutes will be recorded publicly for the record. We only have one item on the agenda tonight, and it's a concept site plan review for 290 West Main Street. Mike Perillion, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
You're right there.
Oh, okay. And what he's proposing to do on that property, which is vacant right now, is to put up a farm store, which is like a drive-through. I'll call it a dairy barn because that's what we used to call it down on Long Island. So I'm gonna give the floor to Mike to explain what it is that he would like to do. And then I'll open it up to the board for any questions.
Well, good evening, everybody, and Mike, thank you very much for letting me come and explain what I'm hoping to do. So I have an offer at 290 West Main Street, and one of the contingencies is approval by the municipality of Victor and Ontario County to approve of what I'm looking to build. And what it is a drive-through convenience store. If you could imagine like the 10 items or less lane at the supermarket, where it's not intended to be a 100% getting all of your groceries, but it's meant to be, if you're looking to just pick up a gallon of milk, a dozen eggs, some paper towels, dog food, you can come to the farm store. It's 100% drive-through, no customer foot traffic. And really, it just, I think, especially in Victor, fills the gap when you consider that, there's Tops in Farmington, the Walmart Supercenter, by Eastview and the Parrington Wegmans. But if all you need to do is just, you spent a long day at work and you just need to pick up maybe a loaf of bread and some, cold cuts to make some lunches for the kids tomorrow, rather than going through the whole ordeal of parking, getting sidetracked, buying more things than you intended at one of the big stores. This is absolutely as convenient as it can be. And especially with the social distancing and limited contact or contactless pickup, drive-through delivery that we've really all gotten accustomed to in the last year, this fills all of those gaps. I put together a little informational sheet. So we're talking about a small building, 900, maybe 1,000 square feet tops. A double lane drive-through will carry about 800 SKUs, with about a fifth, 160, featuring local Victor, Ontario County, Rochester products. So that's things like apple cider from the apple farm, Zweigel's hot dogs, DePaulo's, buns. We also offer, as part of the farm stores, they have hot food, soups, breakfast sandwiches. Farm Stores is originated in South Florida, so they have a little bit of a Latin influence in some of their offerings. So they've got things like empanadas, pane bono. So these are, South American, delicacies that, I think would offer a pretty good alternative to things like the burgers and subs that, are a dime a dozen. The other thing too that I think it, kind of separates itself from a lot of the pack is they also offer things like fresh bread. You'll see in the slide there what looks like fresh baked loaves of bread, and that's exactly what they offer. They've got the high-speed efficiency ovens that you might know from like a Subway, where they're baking the sub rolls hot out of the oven on site. Well, they've got the same thing here. So I would also be able to offer, literally fresh out of the oven, hot bread and pastries, hot coffees, iced coffees, all through drive-through convenience. They have an app that you could pre-order from, or you could just pull up, no different than how you would at McDonald's or Wendy's or any drive-through, and just say what you want. I mean, we're talking about 2 sliding glass doors to accommodate either side, and it's not even a window. It's a door. Myself or an employee would be there, and literally that's it. It's as convenient, I think, as you could be. Here is an example of a store that's already up and running downstate in the Long Island area. And you can see how both sides, have that drive-through feature, on either side. And I think this is a good example of what I would be looking to do. And I'll have a little bit more engineering, proposals on how to put that in. But I've spent time at some of these stores downstate, and I had a pretty good stretch of time to clock how long transactions took from customers pulling up, putting their orders in for things like that, dozen eggs, gallon of milk, loaf of bread. And it was 2.5 minutes average. And think about that when you have somebody who might have young children in car seats that don't want to have to deal with taking them out, getting them, settled into a shopping cart, and then having to go inside. I mean, this literally eliminates all of that when you look at, bad weather like we've been having up until today. People, I think, have really gotten accustomed to drive-through convenience during the COVID, period that we're in. And especially when you compound that with people putting in a long day at work that realize on their way home, oh gosh, I forgot to pick up, a tin of Folgers coffee for tomorrow, or I forgot to pick up, whatever essential dog food. Let me just go to the most convenient place and not have to worry about getting out of my car. This is a business that is in different parts of the country. Why it hasn't come to Rochester or the area here, I don't know. I grew up until I was about 12 years old in the Long Island area. My father was transferred through Xerox, and we moved up here. And I remember from 1992, my mother saying, why wouldn't there be something like this up here? Especially when you look at the weather we get and everything else, and just the convenience factor. And it was just always one of those things we talked about, how, gosh, wouldn't it be convenient to just have that? And then last year, I was furloughed for about 4 months, and really got me thinking about this concept. And this was a company I had basically stumbled upon in some of my research. And one thing led to another, and I'm looking to basically be the first one to bring this to Western New York, starting in Victor. And I think it would really, especially in Victor, really more than I think any town in the Rochester area, I think would really fill that niche for what is a growing community with a lot of working families. And sometimes people don't need to make a full-blown trip to the big store, the big supermarket. And I'm hoping to fill that and be a part of the community. I'm looking to partner with the Victor Farmington Food Cupboard to donate, anything that we might not be able to sell, but is still perfectly fine for consumption. I mean, I'm looking to, partner with them to help stock their shelves. I'm looking to have something that's going to create some jobs for, high school, college students, or just somebody who might be looking to make a little extra money on the side. Maybe it's a stay-at-home parent. And so that's, in a nutshell, what I'm looking to do. And I hope that kind of sums everything up. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Well, I suggested this many years ago, the dairy barn, because I'm from Long Island. And when my dad retired from the Navy in the town that they moved to, they had one of these. And being a family of 8 kids, it was a godsend for my mother. So I don't know why, the idea never took off, but I think it would really work here. And I'll be interested to see, how you plot it out on the parcel to fit everything that you want to do. So I'm going to open it up to the board for any questions.
Yes, I have one concern. The property in that area has behind it, along that section, quite a rise.
Mhm.
And I'm not familiar with this particular piece. I haven't walked it, but I know when Tim Hortons came in, for example, we had some major issues and problems
Yep.
with the back of their property, and it basically had to be redone. The whole traffic circle had to be redone. I think your location there might have a little less of an issue with the grade, but I'm not sure. In truth, I know approximately what you're talking about.
Well, I would say, I mean, for one thing, the parcel is 1.2 acres, and I've walked it many times. The front third of an acre is completely flat.
Right.
That's all I need. I mean, it's a bigger piece of property than what's necessary to have this type of store. And so having said that, really, that front third is what I need. So that remaining 9/10 of an acre that goes back, of course, I'm going to have the engineering, studies and geotechnical surveys done to make sure that, everything is how it needs to be to the T. I'm obviously going to have some site work done and any type of, retaining wall or structure or what have you that would need to be put in place to make sure this doesn't become another Tim Hortons, type of scenario will be done. But just to kind of reiterate what I was saying in the beginning is that I don't need to be going back to create, for example, a big parking lot, like how Tim Hortons needs to have something like that.
Mhm.
These stores really only need 1/4 to 1/3 of an acre. And so, again, you really don't need parking or a lot of parking. I would plan on having enough to accommodate 3-4 spots maybe. But again, because customers aren't setting foot inside, it really eliminates the size of a footprint that I think for most other businesses that, would look at a spot like that, yeah, they would probably need to really go into that hillside and carve out an even chunk. But with what I'm looking to do, it would keep that to a minimum, if even at all.
I do know that, that you'll be filling out a site plan application, and, doing all the engineering, and that, we have several different reviews, like the fire department, code enforcement, we have our own engineers, we have a tree board that would be looking at it. We have a Department of Public Works, all of them would be reviewing the plans to make sure that this is going to work. Also, because it's on Route 96, it would need to go down to the county planning board for their review to make sure that there's no issues as far as they're concerned. We also have an access management plan that in your designing this with the engineering, that you would have to take into consideration the requirements as far as ingress and egress. So just to let you know that those are all the things that we're going to be looking at as far as the review that we will be responsible for.
Okay.
And that the Ontario County Planning Board, they meet the second Wednesday of each month. And what we will do is you need to bring get all your plans and your engineering and everything else, and what the building is going to look like. And that would be like 4 weeks in advance of whatever meeting you anticipate coming to us. And then we would send that down to Ontario County Planning to fit that in between our meetings. I anticipate that this probably would be, and also because of it, we would also be doing a public hearing, which is a meeting in which the public is invited to look at what you're doing and to make comments. Okay. So that's sort of the process that you'll be following as far as the project. So what does the board feel about the project and his going forward with it? Any questions or concerns?
I think it's a nice project. I don't really have any questions at this point, though.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Peter. I like the concept. I haven't been to one of these before, but yeah, it looks like a drive-in dairy, ice cream, things like that. But it
Mhm.
could very well fill the needs for the families out there,
Mhm.
which we don't have them here, so we don't really. To me, I don't really know the need. But once you get one, you're like, why hasn't this been here before? Just like you said, Meg, because you grew up around them, and if they're in the down south, just like drive in and drive out, and I like the idea. Plus, you have an opportunity with all the COVID, staying out of stores, which is now almost going to be possibly part of a norm.
Mhm.
So people have been trained to do this. So good timing, and hopefully with our process, and it will work out. And Charlie, that was a very nice comment you made about the hill and things like that. We on the board always want to see a project go to fruition and not to see anybody lose their life savings on something like that. So when Charlie brought that up about the land and things like that,
Mhm.
sometimes it becomes a wow, why didn't I know that? So we're here to
Mhm.
help you in any way we can.
Our comments are meant to be helpful to you in your endeavor, and also to express our concerns as part of we represent the village. And other than your color scheme, I think this might be a gateway project, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So we're gonna have comments about that, but that's nothing we haven't asked other
Right.
people coming into the village to try to keep the color in theme with the village. And it's just something that we'll talk about at a later time. It's not
Mhm.
appropriate now, but
And the one other application I didn't mention also would be the sign, what you're going to do for signage. That's a separate application. And that would be, we would fold that into the final review as far as that goes. And Jeff, do you have any concerns?
can't.
You need to unmute yourself. Jeff, you're still on mute. Thank you, Hannah.
My producer.
There you go.
I think it's a neat idea. I think it's especially a showcase for our local products.
Mhm.
And I think it's a niche because the one grocery store did close. We don't have anybody in the village now to do that.
Mhm.
I like the drive up and drive out. 'Cause we were just talking tonight, if you go to Walmart, you got to go down into the hole there and just for a bottle of milk or something. It's not, I'll be a customer.
Thank you.
Okay. So I think we're kind of all in agreement for you to go forward. And so just we will wait for you to get together your plans and your design and to bring everything back to us. And we'll, as Charlie said, we're here to make you successful, not to be a burden either on you or on us. So we welcome you.
Thank you.
And Meg, with that too, it's every department you work with. It's the public works, it's the fire department, it's
Right.
the code. Everyone's there to help and to give constructive criticism to make it work. So everybody in this village and all the entities are here to make it work and make sure it works for you as a business owner and the village residents and things like that. So
Right. So, do I have a motion to approve the concept and allow Mike to go forward?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, Mike. The ball's in your court.
All right.
And we're eagerly looking forward to what you're going to bring to us.
I'm very much looking forward to working with everybody here and with the Village of Victor. I think it's a great place to do business, and I hope to contribute to it.
Wonderful. And if you need anything, there's a wonderful lady named Roseanne that will help you out
Okay,
at the Village Hall.
excellent. I'm really looking forward, and thank you everybody for your time this evening and for everybody's vote of support.
Great.
Thanks. Good luck.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good
Take
luck.
care,
Good luck.
Mike.
Talk again. Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay. Bob, is there anything that we need to know concerning the village or?
No, I would just point out the village trustees have finished the process of going through the budget. And so that will be continuing, but right now we've gone through the preliminary budget. and we're keeping it within the cap so that we're looking at about a 3% increase. So no major changes there. And we are continuing to look for a code enforcement officer to fill that position. It'll end up being a full-time position between code enforcement and some other duties within the DPW. So we are still looking and have a candidate in mind, but it's still in the works.
Okay. Well, it's nice to know that it's going forward. So, any other concerns by the board?
No, I'll just give you an update a little bit on the record, off the record with the fire department. The Fishers Fire Department, you know, they have a new board, they have a new commissioner and new people there. So they are now instituting and again, maybe trying to do something with the newly formed Victor Fire Department district. But again, it's, I have my own opinion on it. That's why I'm a commissioner. I like it the way it is. But you might hear some grumblings about Fisher. They have a higher tax rate. They have a higher money, and they have full-time employees, and they have to pay for those 8 or 10 full-time employees. And I think their budget is $5 million, where our one in the Victor newly formed district is only $1 million without any paid people. Well, we have 2 paid people right now, but without any paid fire staff at this time. So that's just a community update.
Okay, very good. Okay, I don't have anything to add. And thank you all for, Jeff, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, just one question, going back to the code enforcer.
Yes.
Do we have code enforcement going on now by Marty? You don't have,
Now, my, last I heard there, there's a gentleman by the name of, Terry Saxby, who, we are engaging his services from Ontario County. As part of our paying county taxes, we receive so many hours of assistance. So right now we're using that and using him, I believe, like 2 days a week. And am I speaking anything out of order, Bob, as far as that
No,
goes?
that's exactly right, Meg. He's a very experienced code enforcement officer. We've been very happy to have the county be able to fill in and provide the services. And they will continue as we're checking to see how long they would be willing to continue. But we have a certain number of hours that we get free. After that, we would end up paying for them. But so we need to resolve the issue. We need to find somebody that's going to be a code enforcement working for us. But we believe in the meantime that we can rely on the county to provide an experienced code enforcement officer to help us out.
I've worked with him, you know, in some of the projects, and I like him very much.
That's great.
And I don't know.
The reason why I asked is there anything going on with the Joseph House?
I've not heard anything from the Sicilianos as to what they want to do.
Well,
I mean, we haven't received anything, and I've not heard any discussions.
I thought they were gonna board the windows up, or the one that's open. No.
Well, I
I
haven't.
think they were gonna close them up from the inside,
Yeah, there's one wide open still.
because we didn't want boarded up, we didn't want boarded up windows on the outside.
Right, they were gonna do something on the inside, but there's one with no window, no glass, it's just wide open, so.
So that's not good.
No.
It's just gonna be a matter of time before the house has to come down because it's got mold in it, so.
Plus asbestos. Well, is that something that we can refer to Terry, our code enforcement person, to touch base with that? To make sure that he's doing that.
Yeah, would certainly talk to him
Yeah.
about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I would think bring it to his attention. I know with this cold weather that we've had, the water's been off, the electric's been off. But if there's any water left on those pipes, they're frozen, they're gonna burst. You know,
Mhm.
the water's gonna get out and the water's gonna dry up. It's gonna be mold, so, yeah,
Yeah,
it's becoming, gonna be more of a problem than anything.
Okay.
And Jeff, thanks for bringing that up because it's
Didn't
going,
I see
it's
it?
going in the wrong direction.
Okay, didn't I see the notes that they came in front of the village board about having a hardship case or something?
They have not, no.
I thought I saw that in the notes like 2 months ago.
I don't know, but what I'll do is I'll shoot
Yeah.
off an email to Terry asking him to look at that and see if getting in contact with the Sicilianos as to, you know, following through with what we've asked them to do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
Any news on the Galassi project? And demolition of those houses? Or-
I haven't heard anything. You know, I haven't seen anything. I know the signs have come down. The only thing that I've seen, and this was probably last fall, was it looked like they were beginning to build a road just past where the entrance is to the park.
Right, I
They
saw
were
that.
starting to clear, but it only looks like they maybe went in like 50 feet or so and then just stopped. So I don't know whether, you know, it seems like just yesterday the COVID started, but it's been more than a year, so.
Yeah.
They,
Oh, just
but
speaking
I
of
also
empty-
see that the sign has been taken down as far as the review for you know, there was a sign up on the town part that the parcel was under review. That's been taken down, so I don't know where it stands at this point.
Okay, because we have an empty house at the top of the hill.
Right, yeah.
It's an
Well,
eyesore.
there's two of them probably,
Well,
right?
there's two of them, but one's a real eyesore.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so,
It's equally as bad as the Joseph House, so.
yeah, so. But I haven't heard anything as to how they're proceeding with that or whatever. So,
Okay, just curious.
anything else?
One question about my Zoom. Do you guys see me moving at all, or is my picture frozen?
No, you're
You're
moving.
moving.
You're scratching your chin. And
Okay,
now you're under your nose and now you're smiling and,
Thumbs up.
because I don't see you guys at all. It just says waiting. So
oh, okay.
I didn't know if my picture is frozen, so I gotta be careful I don't do this.
That's okay.
Okay.
All right, hearing anything else? Or not
Matt,
hearing anything. Charlie,
You got any new fences up your way?
new fences?
Yeah, have you noticed any new fences
I mean, like on my property?
around properties?
No,
Okay.
why?
I just wondered.
No,
I knew
it's
what I
kind of
went
hard to
through.
see when the snow is so high.
I know what I went through when I put my fence in the back dooryard here. And basically, I had to have a survey. I had to have it all laid out and inspected and I think.
No,
you
I mean,
think you gotta-
it's just,
I
it's
think you
just
gotta
been, this winter, it's just been so bad. I haven't seen anybody doing anything other than shoveling.
And I didn't know if I missed one or I did miss a meeting, so.
No. Mm-mm. Okay, anything else? Last chance?
Nope.
Do I have a motion to close the February 24th meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
I,
Aye. Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Pam, Roseanne.
go get a virtual beer, right?
No, thank you. All right, guys, Thanks again.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good job, Meg.
Good night.